Hello and welcome to another video from Natasha Lee, and this week I'm producing a video based on what you guys have been asking for, which was florals. However, you've also been asking for full nails, so I've tried to incorporate the two. This week's creator of the week is Curly Susie because I'm currently trying to ditch my hair straighteners after 20 years and go au naturel. I'm mid-transition at the moment, so it's not a good look and I won't be coming on camera till I'm sorted. Why don't you head on over and take a look at her channel if that's something that interests you, embracing your natural waves and curls, and give her a big subscribe and a thumbs up. Now on to the tutorial. As always, I'm going to begin by cleansing my nails with 99% isopropyl alcohol. Now you will have to excuse my right hand, it's not been done for 4 weeks and it's not a pretty look. I'm going to be using a peel-off base coat and I am doing this with gel polish today, but you can do it with nail polish as well. I'm using a peel-off base coat so I can remove these nails in a couple of days and try something else out. Once that's dried, we're going to apply cherry pie, and we're doing this to our index finger and our little finger or our pinky. Apply it nice and carefully, especially with a dark colour like this, on the first coat, and you can go in a lot quicker with the second coat. Now, the floral design on these nails was inspired by a picture that I saw a few weeks back on Facebook, but could I find who produced it? Not a chance, and I looked and looked. If it was you that indeed was on my Facebook with these lovely nails, then please let me know and I will happily link you in the description down below. Once you've cured that first layer of colour, I'm going back in with another layer and getting this nice and careful before I cure once it's done. Now you could wait until the end to top coat these along with the other nails, but I'm just going to do it now to get it out the way. So that is the index finger and the little finger. Apply the top coat nice and evenly over the whole nail, and don't forget to cap those ends before curing if you're using a gel polish. Now on the middle finger and the ring finger, I'm going to be using this lovely sort of natural nude, which is called Jenny Wren from Magpie. Again, apply a nice, even, careful layer, going really carefully around the proximal fold cuticle area and those lateral folds. I always take my time with this first layer just to make sure I get it really neat, so the following layers I can go through really quickly. And you may have noticed that I've taken my nails down a little bit. They were getting that little bit too long, so I thought I'd shorten them. On the back of a used plastic back pad, I'm going to add a few different colours, including Come On Eileen, which is a nice sort of jade green, Cherry Pie, which is the colour that we used on the index and the ring finger, and that's just to add an accent onto the detailing, Pearl's a Singer, which is a very vivid sort of lilac-y colour, Silly Billy, which is a lovely bright blue, it's actually slightly metallic as well, which is really nice, Plain Jane, which is a white, Black Betty, which is obviously a black, and Hannah Banana, which is a very, very pale yellow, and finally Bella Rouge, which is a very sort of bright pillar box red. Using a fine detail brush, and I'm going in fast with this brush to show you a couple of different methods. This is my preferred for this style of petal, and that's where you start with a sort of ball first, and I'm just deciding to mark out slightly before I do it, go around in a circle, then pull down into like a teardrop. And then I'm just going to use my brush to mark the petals on the other sides of these, just to make it a little bit easier for me. If you prefer and you find it easy, you can start with the centre of the flower first and then work out from that. It's actually really therapeutic doing this, it's so nice and easy. And like I said, you can do this with nail polish. When you're happy with your flower petals, give this a flash cure in your lamp, but if you're using nail polish, you won't need to do that. It's just because we want to keep this image super crisp and we don't want the colours to bleed out at all. Using Hannah Banana, I'm going to add a little dot to the centre of the flower, and I will link all the products used in this video in the description down below. Then taking that lovely green, I'm just going to draw a line that's curved up the side of the nail and just go over it a couple of times if you want it to be really opaque, before I'm going to go in and draw some really, really easy leaves. So I just do one curved line one side, one curved line the other side, and then fill in any gaps in the centre with the polish. Continue until you're happy with the look, and I've found to get a really nice look and feel with this design, it's best to try and avoid the colours touching each other. So even when you're doing like the leaves, try to avoid them from touching the stalk. On that middle finger, I'm doing the same thing again, so I've done another red flower on that middle finger, but I've done it in a different position. And I'm just sort of reversing the direction of the stalk. Again, I'm just going to apply some nice leaves And when you complete each step like this, it's best to give it a cure in your lamp if you are using gel polishes, as it stops them bleeding. Then with the pearls of Singer and a dotting tool, I'm just going to apply some dots and then go back in with that cherry pie and go around the dots. Now I've kept this in even though I made a mistake. I'm going to show you why. I applied the lilac in the centre, but I didn't cure it. And then I went round with the cherry pie and everything started to bleed together. So I just took a pad dipped in isopropyl alcohol and wiped it off so I could start again. This time I cured after I'd applied that dot in the centre. To save time, you can do 2 nails at once if you want when you're using a colour. So I'm going back in with the cherry pie after I've cured the 2 centre dots on both nails. And try and keep a bit of a gap if you can. Don't worry if you have to go back over the dots with a little bit more polish, that's absolutely fine. Just remember to give it a quick flash cure as soon as you've finished to stop it from bleeding too far. Again, I made the mistake though, I'd gone too close, so I took a brush this time with isopropyl alcohol. And I've kept these in to show you that it's not the end of the world if you do make mistakes. There are easy fixes, especially when you're using gel polish. So then I'm just going to reapply those dots, but with a bit more of a gap between them. And then pop it into the lamp to cure. Do the same again on that middle finger. Jenny Kafer mentioned she'd like to see some lilies of the valley, so I decided to add some in just for you, Jenny. And all I'm doing for these is I'm applying a sort of triangular shape with my gel polish, cleaning a little bit off the brush and then dragging down each side just to give that bell effect of the flowers. After giving a flash cure, I'm going in with that green again, and I'm just going to do a fine line around the back of the flowers without actually touching them. Give that a flash cure again, and I know it's a lot of flash cures, but they only take about 5 seconds, before I apply some white dots, and then I'm going in with the blue and I'm giving sort of a daisy effect on these. And it's really simple, you just literally apply lines. Lines going round that little circle in the centre. Try to avoid them from touching each other if you can again, just because it gives that really lovely stenciled effect of the flowers. And you can apply these in any colour that you fancy and anywhere on the nail. This is just to give you an idea of the different types of flowers and the different looks you can get using this technique. And exactly the same down the bottom side of the nail, and then flash cure. I just felt there was something lacking at the cuticle area and I didn't want to add big busy flowers, so instead I did some dots, starting with a large one in the centre and then going out to each side with the same dotting tool, so the less polish there is on the dotting tool, the smaller the dots go. I thought I'd give it a go on the ring finger and do the same but in black. I think the jury's still out on that one, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it's staying. I added another little flower, but this one I kind of wanted to make look like a forget-me-not, so I did just get them to touch at the bottom by the centre of the flower. Once that's completely cured on a full cure, I'm going to go in with my top coat. And we will really need to apply 2 layers of top coat for this because it's quite a detailed image which is quite raised. So that first layer, let it settle for a few moments before curing. Do the same on the middle finger as well. And you can see as it first goes on, it looks quite bumpy, and after a couple of seconds, it starts to settle through the image. Give it a full cure in the lamp before going in with a second layer of top coat, and that should be enough to do it really, to be honest with you. Apply nice and evenly over the whole nail, and as you saw before, I cleaned off any excess before curing using a brush dipped in isopropyl alcohol. Once it's fully cured, remove any sticky layer, apply your cuticle oil, and your look is done. There's something about these, I don't know what it is. They sort of remind me of some of the patterns I saw at my nan's from the 70s, but I really like them, and I don't know what it is. They're kind of a little bit Cath Kidston. I don't know what it is, but I really, really like them. Let me know what you think, and let me know what else you would love to see on this channel. I want to say a big thank you to all of my VIPs, and if you want to become a Natasha Lee VIP, then head on over to natashalee.vip and sign up. I will be back on camera very soon once I've got through this moniker stage that I'm having at this moment, but that shouldn't take too long, hopefully, otherwise it's back to straighteners. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave me comments down below what you would like to see next week. How about something Halloween-y, or is that too soon? Should we go for fall first? Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell icon to be notified every time I upload. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I will see you all very, very soon.